From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Two 1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. Sheds off the tackle. And that's pretty good coverage by the kick team, as he'll only be able to get this past the 15-yard line and no further.
Here we go. All right.
They'll start on the ground. Hall. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down. The Jets at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season, and they fell in the opener. Got back on the beam with a win in Week 2, but stumbled again last week to fall under 500.
And despite that stumble, I don't think anyone's too concerned because they've made mistakes that they believe are correctable. And this is a team still getting to know each other. I'm not that concerned, and neither are they.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Here's Hall again. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. But you look at this Bronco defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
He'll get that one to Taylor, complete. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice...
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jets get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. 7-0 is our score, ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Nix to the air. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. To throw, here's Nix. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. Now it's Nix. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here we go, side. Right.
Straight ahead is Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Alpha, 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 alpha. Right.
To throw is Fields. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Dre Greenlaw getting home on that one. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Hey, Ken. Mayday. Go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it.
And that's caught inside the 35. A huge play there for Denver. 44 yards.
And every time I see one of these plays occur, I always think to myself, it takes a quarterback not only with a strong arm, sometimes with great mechanics, great footwork, obviously good vision, and sometimes just one of those to complete this type of a pass back against the grain all the way across field. And sometimes you catch the defense just not believing you can make that throw.
That is caught left side by Bryant. Now a 2nd and 10. To throw is Nix. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Nix to throw again. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jets are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 30, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Here we go, tonight. Hey, Ken.
Here's Fields. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. 38 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 36. Handoff running left. Here's Hall. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Hall again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 64 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here we go.
They'll go again with Hall. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Braylon Allen. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to widen their advantage. Zerline good with a PAT. And that makes our score 17-0.